I guess I want to start off by saying it's very rarely, I try to avoid long talks. I very rarely try to avoid even being seen on this place, except at the gate. But now that I'm here, let's go. It is a very, very important day for us. It's not that we do things lightly. Gumatj Corporation prides itself as doing things very slowly and working its way up so that we don't fall over. Many organisations have, we try not to. So I'll go through it and I'll lead up to where we're heading. So first, it is the first Indigenous solely owned and operated bauxite mine. There are others in the world, in Australia, but it's the first bauxite mine, and it is run by an Indigenous board, Indigenous operators, Indigenous leaders, and that's very, very important for us. The employment will be sorted out on the job training from the Gulkula Regional Training Centre. Sustainable energy has been sought through GE solar plant. Now that's the first for us. We actually thought about all the diesel generation we're going to burn. So we made up our mind and got in contact with GE, General Electrics, and we've now not only fired up, but we've triggered a solar system. If you ever want to go across to the other side, you see it working. Solar panels, energy, resource, it all works. And of course, the best practice in mining rehabilitation. Our goal with Yungal is a better understanding what mining is, real experience on the job training, increased workforce participation, ability to more effectively engage in negotiations in mines. And I'll just explain that. For many years, Yungal, particularly, I'll talk just Yungal at the moment, have had mines operating in their area. Unfortunately, they really understood the mining, what the mining does, how to negotiate a good mine, how to engage in good job participation. What we're doing here is teaching them to do that from the grounds up. We're teaching exploration, we're teaching survey work, we're teaching to not only mine but the process, but to deliver. All that means in the future, the children of these miners will be able to negotiate their own mines, and that's so important for us in the future. Unless you've lived here like I have, it seems, well, I have lived here all my life, so all my life, you really get to understand how hard that is for Yungal to deal with, but they're starting to now to deal with, and I think it's very important. Achievements. Okay, Northern Land Council approvals finalised. Exploration licence approved. Exploration programs completed. Environmental and cultural heritage assessments completed. Mining agreement between the traditional owners and Gulkula Mine finalised. All government approvals, including the NT Mines Management Plan, secured. The mining lease approved. Key personnel appointed, and sales agreement, which is a very important point, because if I don't have a buyer, I'm in trouble. Sales agreement with Rio is confirmed. Today will be signed and confirmed, which is a great event. So Gulkula Mine went through the same approvals as any other mining company. And you have to understand, those approvals are vigorous. They're not something you wake up in the morning and sign a bit of paper and say, should be right, mate. We didn't do that. We went from the beginning to the end with the traditional owners so they understood what they're up for. Because at the end, it all rolls back, if we make a mistake, to their own board. So they needed to understand what was involved. I think the key points to all this is that I'm probably at the stage now where I can turn around and say that operations will commence late August 2017, on-the-job training will commence August 2017, and the first haulage will be October 2017. Significant milestones for us and the people. Again, I just want to bring up the point of ownership. This is their land, right? And we've watched many mining companies over the years, I'm not just talking about Rio, I'm talking about the whole of Arnhem Land, come through, but not many Indigenous people really understood how to control, how to manage this. And now they're starting to do that. And I think it's really important that the people continue to do that. I'm probably going too fast for your slides, I know, good, all right. Okay. I want to thank a few people, and you may find this silly. Why am I thanking Rio Tinto? Well, there are buyers. Look, Without Rio Tinto, I'm going to be very frank, I couldn't have done this, okay? They've stepped out of the way to help. They've not only stepped out of the way in as far as the mining agreement, which is great, but they've also turned around and helped us with their knowledge. They've helped us with their expertise. They've helped us with the way of doing things. How are we going to do it? People just think you dig ore up. You don't. You dig it, you move it, you transport it, you crush it, you grade it, you then ship it down to the boat. You've got to make sure all that way that it has a certain silicon level, that it has certain weights, otherwise you don't get paid, which is really important to me. But in general terms, they have gone out of the way to make this a success, and I think that's tremendous on Rio Tinto's part. The Northern Land Council, thank you. Thank you, Bill. The Northern Land Council, I take my cap off. They sent special legal advisors to help us through this. They didn't fast-track anything. We went through the whole rigorous procedure, but they helped us do it. They opened doors where we didn't know what door to open. They went through the system with us. Now, I'm not in favour of a lot of legal people, even though Sean's over there somewhere hiding. But in general, you've got to have them, because I've got to safeguard the Gumatj board. I have to safeguard what we do. I have to safeguard the environment. So there is a process. The Australian government, again, getting approvals to get everything through on the environmental side. The Northern Territory government all went out of their way. This only took less than 2 years to do all this. Now, I believe most mining companies will take a lot longer to do it. But in 2 years, we went from a concept to doing it, and that's important. Sea-Swift, my old mates, well, all I can say is this: without shipping companies, I wouldn't have anything over here, so thank you, Sea-Swift. And most importantly, the Gumatj board and the traditional owners for their vision. They've never backed off, they've never let me down, they've always stood up beside me and said, let's do it, because they know they're doing it for themselves. I'm getting a bit long in the tooth, I'm getting a bit old, and I want to be able to hand all this over pretty soon. So I hope I've left him with a legacy that works. Thank you.